I do want to get just an overview of the Xbox showcase. What did you think of it overall? What did you like about it? What did you not like about it? What did you wish you would have saw that maybe wasn't shown, or did they show enough? Overall, first impressions of the show. You don't have to go into every single game or anything like that. I just want an overview, 10,000 foot. Let's start with Jordan the Man. Jordan the Man, overall Xbox game showcase. Did it meet your expectations? Was it below your expectations? What was it for you?
I liked it. They showed us a lot of games that are coming out. And I believe, more than half, half of them? At least half of them were all coming to Game Pass, because a lot of them were first-party stuff. No, I liked it. I thought it was a good showing of games.
Didn't Xbox say that?
I think all the games
that were shown are going to be coming out?
Half of them were console exclusive is what they were. But no, all the games they showed are coming to Game Pass. So, I mean, what a value, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But no, I liked it. I thought it was a good showing of games, and...
Anything that they didn't show that you were expecting to see that you wish that they would
Well,
have seen?
I heard a rumor that they were going to show Elden Ring, which would have been cool. That's that the From Software game that they're making. They showed it on their stage. I don't know if it was last year or the year before, but they showed like a teaser trailer. So I would have liked to see more of that. But they did say that they're going to be having more Xbox 2020s later in the year, so maybe we'll get it later.
Yeah, one thing that really stood out to me was they said this multiple times, that we are showing, and they used the word only, which I find fascinating, 7 or 9, I can't remember the number, I think it was 7. Was it 7 or was it 9? Of our 15 new studios. And that to me says we're keeping something. I think it's gamemanship, right? I think Sony showed a certain thing, Xbox showed a certain thing, but both are keeping stuff in their back pockets for this August rumored, where they drop the price, drop some more games, perhaps gameplay, perhaps they show off some more big first-party titles, because they're really, I mean, stuff has already been pushed back. We were already supposed to see the Xbox hardware specs and stuff like that, and they didn't show anything because PlayStation's doing that in August, so they moved it back. You know what I mean? So I think it felt a little bit constrained to me, like they were purposely holding stuff back. And I think, and maybe I'm just fixated on that statement, these are games only 9 of our 15 or 7 of our 15 new franchises, so I wonder if they're holding that back a little bit in preparation for whatever PlayStation announces.
No, well, and like you said, to have stuff later in the year, right? You don't want to throw everything out at once. And I mean, you don't want your developers to kind of I mean, I guess you do and you don't, but you don't want your developers outshining each other, right? Every game needs its place.
No, that's
I would. If it were up to me, I would totally like Game of Thrones it.
Yeah, you're
I'd
out.
totally be like, okay, you are up and you go against him. All right.
One-on-one.
Yeah.
Like March Madness brackets.
Yeah, like March Madness. How about that show like The Voice where they pit their singers against each other? No, it would totally be like a Godfather pitting your, I'm going to go, you know what? See what you can do with that. And then you execute them.
Yeah.
Yeah, losers out.
Losers are out.
Losers are out.
See ya.
No, yeah.
Spicy. First impressions overall. What were your thoughts of the Xbox game showcase? Did it meet your expectations? Exceed it? Not quite stand up to it? Where do you stand?
Well, I do like a presentation that is all about the games, right? Yeah. And I've liked those for a long time. I hate it when there's fluff in the middle. I hate it when they talk about things that it's cool that you get to learn 15 minutes about a game developer's tough story or something, or like, their struggles or the things that they do right, that's great. Put it on like channel 2. I don't want to, maybe this is really rude to say, but when I'm at a game trailer show, I would like to see game trailers, and this did that. It was just game trailer after game trailer after game trailer. I think the last 3 years Xbox has done that really well. I think Nintendo is really good at doing that. I think with their style that others are now starting to follow suit with just show games kind of thing. I think Xbox did that really well the last couple of years. I think that's what we got this time. They started out with, I think, their biggest hitter first, which I think is good to do. Halo. We got to see Halo, and I was really impressed with Halo. I feel like there was this the middle section was just kind of waning just a little bit for me.
I'll tell you where it wanes for me. Story games. I'm over story games. Like I don't care about Life is Strange. I know it's a really good game. I don't know who that's grabbing necessarily. And granted, they have a strategy to it, and maybe it's demographics for their Game Pass that they're having these certain games they're shown. But for me, it's like, okay, next game. As soon as I see it, as soon as I see the art style, I know this is a story-based game. I want some. Like move on. Let's go. That's kind of where that middle section.
Yeah,
and that's where it starts.
Like
for me,
I'm okay with adding those games in there, but I always like to be surprised, and I always like to be impressed. I like to be impressed.
Surprised and impressed.
Surprised and impressed. And I got that at the end with a little bit of teaser with Fable, right? I think that was good that we got that announcement.
Sure.
Obviously, we wish we knew more about it, but the fact that we now know that a Fable is in development and we can see it on the Xbox, that's actually really exciting to see. I'd say overall, it was okay. It was above average. It wasn't the best one I've seen. It definitely wasn't the worst one I've seen, and it's just above average for me.
Yeah, I felt like it was solid.
It was it was good. It
wasn't great, but it was solid.
Yeah, it was. I enjoyed it. I got to see things that I wasn't expecting. I got to be impressed with some things. I thought some of the games overall, and this is really weird, but I thought that some of the games cutscenes were janky and not good looking as much, but when they showed the gameplay, it looked way more smooth, way more developed.
Seemed like third-party platformers really had that feel. And we'll get into these during the segment, but the Gunk had that. Grounded had that as well. I agree with you. In fact, that was something that we discussed. Yeah, I completely agree with you there, which is interesting. I don't know why that's a thing, but it is.
That's funny. Chad is saying the guy that doesn't like the fluff has the really fluffy answer. That's true. I'm going on and on. But anyways, I thought it was overall pretty good. So
yeah.
I'm really excited for.
Yeah,
for
I agree with both of you. I don't think it was knock out of the park, and I actually was expecting Microsoft to bring the guns. Like I thought we were going to get some big boy gameplay from new IPs, and what we got was very little gameplay. From many new IPs, it was a lot of story cinematic trailers, which is okay, which is good. It was decent. I'm with you. It was strong. It wasn't the best. It wasn't the worst. It was strong. One thing that I think is really interesting, and I asked some people who are solely PlayStation people, I said, hey, what did you think of it? And they're less impressed. And that's what I've noticed. I actually, on Twitter, I said, hey, everybody, what did you think of this? People who are not Xbox people were very disappointed. People who were Xbox people are already Xbox people really liked it. And so I think, and as someone that's not a PlayStation person, that's kind of how I felt about the PlayStation. I was like, oh, that's subpar. That wasn't very good. But if you're a PlayStation person, you like the Horizon Zero Dawn. You like the Spot. Like you like the games that you're invested in. I feel like PlayStation was targeting their PlayStation crowd with that first one. I feel like Xbox was targeting the Xbox crowd with this one. There was no new big game in this, I think, that's going to pull anybody over. The other thing that really stood out to me is it's clear their strategy is Game Pass. This was one giant advertisement for Game Pass.
There was no
single game outside of Halo, which really is at this point is an Xbox game, fanboy game. But what there was Game Pass value showed it. Game Pass value added. It's interesting that was the focus. It's clear that that's their strategy when we know that that's their strategy. Overall, I think it's really, really solid. We actually
it was a full hour. It was a total full hour of trailers.
Of nonstop game trailers.
Which I liked. I mean, and I like PlayStation, right? I really do. And I enjoyed their presentation, although there were things that I didn't like as well. Like after everything, we had to have this 25-second, 30-second odd bumper of the transition of a X and zero and square and triangle.
Yep. I mean, Xbox kind of did some of that too.
They did it like 3 times, I think. Not after every time, right?
Yeah, true. One thing that we did was we put a poll over on our community tab on YouTube and said, what grade would you give the Xbox Game Showcase? So according to YouTube, according to our YouTube users, it was A, B, C, D. A was for it was amazing, B it was good, C was okay, and D not very good, and then F worst show ever, right? 0% of people gave it an F. 6% said D. C gave it 17% of people gave it a C. It was good. 61% gave it a B. And 16% give it an A. So right there,
that's like what I that's
right
like
there
what
in
I
the
was
B.
thinking.
B I think is a pretty fair grade for the show. So that was our.
Yeah.
That was there.
It wasn't a C. It wasn't an A. It's a solid B.